So today is an incredibly special day. I'm super excited to be here with Rehanne Allen, who is the Senior Director, HR, Technology and Operations at Epiq. Rehanne, thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to a really exciting and interesting, but also important conversation.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, we're going to be talking about how to navigate technology in teams effectively. And I think with everything going on and with the level of kind of maybe worry, distraction, everything going on, I think this is a very important conversation. But before we jump in, I thought I would ask a little bit about you. I mean, what was there a person or a situation that really inspired you to cared so deeply about people and technology and operations?
Yeah, so just one of becoming a leader in technology. I really got to see how many times women could be overlooked a little bit in the technology field in comparison to male counterparts, and so seeing that over my years really ignited the fire under me for change. And really wanting to be a voice in technology and showcase how powerful our thoughts can be as well. And so, I witnessed how their dedication and often got overlooked and underestimated, and I definitely became passionate about that. I also looked at various leaders that I have had over the past, and their styles and approaches really left much to be desired. And so it really inspired me to do the opposite of those individuals and really become the leader I wanted to be based on the things that I did not enjoy about their leadership. And so that really drove me to just become passionate about wanting to be a leader, let alone just being in HR technology or technology field, and being a woman in that, but then being a leader and showcasing the wonderful aspects of being a great leader and leading by example. And so that really has since transpired to where I am today in my journey in leadership and my journey in HR technology. And so I wouldn't say it's necessarily one particular person. It was a lot of people along the way, and specifically the women leaders that I have had in the past, but then also those leaders that were not the best. And so it really inspired me to want to be the best leader possible and the best that I can be in the technology field.
Yeah, I think you bring up something really interesting that sometimes we learn from really amazing leaders and other. I think either way, there's a lot of value to be learned from leaders that maybe weren't so great, in ways that you can improve and be better. So I love that. I love that reminder, and I'm sure there's nuggets of wisdom that we can all think of, that someone who are like, oh, I really didn't like that boss, but then you're thinking about what was the wisdom, like maybe there was something that they were good at, or maybe there is something that really hindered your growth, that you're like, oh, I'm just gonna flip that on its butt and make sure that I am 100% 180 from that. So I love that lesson so much. And so, what has been the mindset that allowed you to keep going as a woman in tech, a woman in a predominantly male industry, which quite frankly are most industries?
Yes. Yeah, I would say, for me, that really just drives me and keeps me going is my general love for solving problems and finding solutions that make people's day to day work lives easier. And, you know, uh, as a woman, seeing yes, male leadership, women leadership in the previous, did those same problem solvings and solutions. But being able to put forth my own idea of solving problems and finding solutions, whereas maybe some of the leaders have been under in the past had to look to others to actually provide those solutions. And so what really drives me is that problem solving and finding solutions, and it really fuels my dedication and shapes my approach to both work and life. So I've always been fascinated by challenges and the process of overcoming them, whether it's complex or simple. I find an immense satisfaction in identifying the issues and crafting effective solutions for people. And that really does motivate me because I know that I have an impact on others, and knowing that my efforts are really simplifying someone's workday and enhancing their productivity and alleviating their stress is really rewarding, and gives me that opportunity, the pat on the back when a solution's found, and that in itself is self gratifying. And it just I've also learned over, these past, I guess, since COVID, really, how wonderful it is to be remote, and being able to do that work-life balance by being remote, and my flexibility so that I am able to find those solutions for people at any time of the day that I am able to work. And so it really has just provided me an opportunity to be a little bit even more creative, because I actually have more time and I'm not thinking about that day-to-day driving in rush hour traffic that stresses the person out sometimes. And so that really keeps me going. And then, just getting to see um, and strive for getting my voice heard is really what keeps me going to every day, and just showcasing that my opinions matter, and the opinions of females matter, and opinions of female leaders matter. And it really has been self-gratifying to get to where I am today, through a lot of ups and downs for sure. But yeah, that's really what motivates me, is just trying to do the best I can be and do better than I did the day before.
Yeah, I love holding that standard for yourself. And so let's jump over to the topic, which is navigating tech and teams effectively. Technology, it seems like it's changing so fast. And so when you're, responsible for managing technology and teams for a busy and large organization, it can be challenging. So can you give us a couple tips and tools and strategies to do that?
For sure. Yeah. There's a couple different points that I would say for navigating technology and in the teams to achieve, the greatest efficiency. One of the biggest one, and probably one that is on everybody's roadmaps in any organization, is just digital transformation, and, embracing digital transformation. So, it's not just a buzzword. It is a necessity. It is very important that we adopt the latest technologies. Those technologies help streamline processes, reduce our manual tasks, and just enhance productivity. And, embracing digital transformation really allows your organization to stay competitive and agile in this rapidly changing environment. Just from explodingtopics.com, I found a statistic that, global spending on digital transformation is expected to hit 3.9 trillion by 2027. And so that just showcases how critical a role it is in ensuring that your business goals are being met. And that's through this digital transformation. And a crucial part of that is, of course, artificial intelligence, right? And AI just has revolutionized how business operates, just by allowing us to summarize, vast amounts of data, automating those tasks, creating personalized customer experiences. And, those personalized customer experiences also mean employee experience. And, as AI tools are coming about and helping to kind of reduce those manual tasks, making things more personable, helping you as an employee, minimize your own error by leveraging this technology. It really does keep a team engaged, a person engaged with their company. And, engaged people tend to have better performance and increased, collaboration with teams. And so just kind of embracing that technology, then, another great point would be around just continuing to foster collaboration and communication. So, while technology is one thing, that human interaction and teamwork is still very relevant and needed. And so, effective teamwork really hinges on strong collaboration and communication. And utilizing technology in itself, like Slack or Teams or Zoom, really can bridge that gap and ensure everyone's on the same page. But doing regular check-ins, team meetings, collaboration tools like shared documents or boards really allows that team to communicate effectively, and then again increases engagement, increases performance, increases productivity. And then taking that collaboration and communication back to the digital transformation perspective, like AI and technology is somewhat fear, people have fear of it. People feel, it's going to replace their job. And that is something that, as a technology leader, it's very important to be transparent and be truthful, and showcase to them that there's always going to be a human touch. AI is not going to replace, we need human touch, but it's not about replacing, it's about reimagining the work people are doing. And so that's where that collaboration and that communication becomes even more important, because you need to let your teams know this is a good change, and this just means you get to be more strategic. You get to do some of the funner things of your job, and not such manual tasks, mundane, repetitive tasks. So I think that is a key role to ensuring that you have effective team in this world of changing technology. I'd also point out too, that investment in training and development. So in order to have technology, and in order to have teams that are effective with the technology too, it's keeping them up to date on the latest and greatest, and ensuring that you as an organization and you as a manager and leader is really investing in your employees' development and training on these technologies, and just continuing to allow them to grow and learn, again, boosts productivity, boosts engagement, and really makes a team highly efficient. Um, I would just add one other, point to all that too, is just really looking at and optimizing workflows and processes, because efficiency is often about finding the right balance between technology and human effort. And so really taking the time as an organization, as a team, to look at existing workflows and really identify where technology can help automate and streamline, and regular reviewing those processes. And I found another little statistic from docuclipper.com that 50% of work activities can be automated, and demonstrating vast potential for efficiencies, and that reducing processes by up to 80% automation can be, and decrease errors by 70%. So with such potential time savings, why not invest in optimizing processes? Because then that's again just helping to develop in your own team members, and growing that team, and becoming that strategic partner that we're all striving to be within an organization.
Yeah. So even as a small, coaching and training business, so recently hired a director of operations, and wow, what a lifesaver. I can't even imagine what's the word I'm looking for? The productivity, and honestly the money, the earnings that fall through the cracks when operations are not running like a fine oiled machine, when there's not accountability and structure and all of those things. So I love that so much. And so for those watching, what are one or two things that, if they're like, gosh, my team is distracted, or here we are, we're coming up, not really the end of the first half, but getting close, and thinking that their team isn't quite where it needs to be in terms of navigating the technology and being efficient. What's one or two things that you think would be most important to get started with, or to take action on?
Yeah, I think one thing is to just to reiterate to the team, that this is a, not a race. It's what is it? The crawl, walk, run to technology of things. And so to do things right is to take the time to do it and to do it correctly. So I would say, to one thing to just kind of keep them engaged in this ever-changing world of technology is first and foremost really that embrace AI. It's here, right? It's going to change technology. It's going to change the way we work every day. It's going to change how our employees are engaged and how they work effectively. And it's just going to revolutionize, our work and our ability to solve problems. And so, if we can integrate AI into our strategies, into our day to day, we're just going to, really enhance our operation agility and achieve such great results. And, as leaders, we have a unique responsibility to champion this transformation that we're all going through. And it's important that our vision and our commitment inspires our team to embrace it, embrace the AI and the digital transformation. And, us as leaders lead with the empathy, the foresight, the dedication, and to power our teams to harness the full potential of AI really is just going to make your day-to-day world easier if your team is as excited about AI as hopefully you as a leader are in the technology. And so, the main thing is let's not merely adapt to the future, but let's really shape it. And I think that's just a message to constantly reinforce to your team members to say, with this ever-changing world, we're in this together and we will figure it out together. And just to stay positive, and we will have our ups and downs and things will get tough, but as a team, we will accomplish it together. And I think that's just the main goal to always, present to your team members to help them through this journey, because we're all on it together, and to let them know that no one is alone in this. And it just will make all of our lives better, and we will all become more efficient and become, the strategic individuals that we hope to be one day.
Yeah, no, I love that so much. And I think sometimes we forget that by us using AI, we're shaping it for the future. So if we don't use it, it's not going to have our voice in it. So I think that was a really great reminder to just start using it. I mean, I use it a little bit to plan a trip this summer, or some people are using it. Some kids like to, and I just learned this at a conference I was speaking at, but one of the leaders, her kids would prompt it to write them a personal story using their name, and I was like, wow, that's really creative. So I just love the idea of just using it. Well, Rehanne, thank you so much for your time and wisdom. And I wish you all the continued success. And I look forward to continuing to follow your journey.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.